Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Nick Pedersen. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today we're going to be looking at the UA Audio Spark program. Basically, it's going to show you how it works with Logic Pro and figure out how it works best for you. We're going to take a look at it with some mixes, tighten up some things with a couple downloadable features in the app, and just kind of give you a how-to of how to use it and how I use it. So, thanks. Hey guys, alright, so here we go. We're going to show you how to use the UA Spark with Logic Pro and GarageBand. So we're going to start with Logic Pro. First thing you basically have to do when you buy the program. So this video is not going to be about how to buy the program and install it on your computer. It's just going to be about how to basically use it with Logic Pro. So when I first was looking into using the UA Spark, I didn't really see anything anywhere on how or if you could even use it with Apple or Logic Pro. Obviously UA wants everyone to use Luna, which is their basically DAW. So it may be that they've targeted those videos to destroy them so that people can't figure out you can use it with other things. But anyways, so the first things first, you do have to have an iLoc account. If you have any other sort of IR cab pedals like a Tonix, typically they make you register your pedal with this. So it's the same sort of thing. You register your account. It'll basically say, you know, your subscription, when it's due, who the owner is, blah, 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 blah. This is something you have to do in order to do it, to get on it. And then it's basically a step-by-step. When you download it, it'll tell you how to do that. So if there are lots of videos out there on how to do that, but it basically has a list here of all the sorts of things that come with the membership. So it's just kind of a cool little thing to have, and you can basically keep track of when your subscriptions due. But yeah, so the UA Connect is the app that you download. So once you open that, it's going to take a second or two. And basically it's going to pop up with this. So while this loads, basically this little thing in the top corner here. So if your UA Connect doesn't open automatically, you just sometimes have to come up here and hit Open UA Connect. So just something that happens. Obviously you can see everything else that UA has. So you have your account information here. And then you can see that they have the Apollo series interfaces, the Volt interfaces, all their microphones, the UA effects, pedals, and the Luna. So this is where you can basically buy them or see what they have. So, but anyways, this is the main screen that you'll want to know. Basically, you can see here that there are some things installed already because I'm using them. You can download all of them if you want, which maybe I should just do, but maybe I'll do that after the video. But anyways, you can see kind of the size of them. You can also filter them. So if you want a specific thing, so if I just want tape saturation, it'll come up with the five options they have here for tape saturation specifically. But yeah, wonderful. It's trying to do an update. So this is just great. This is exactly what I wanted right now. Are you kidding me? Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. It just decided that today, at this very moment in time, was a phenomenal day to do an update. So that's been done. I have no idea what it did, but it's been done. So anyways, so what we're going to do today, so we have this Logic profile here. So this is the intro tune that you're going to listen to at the beginning of the song, or the beginning of the video. Basically there's 4 tracks. You've got a rhythm guitar, a bass, a drum from Logic Pro, and then a lead guitar. So you can see that the rhythm guitar, I'm using the UA Lion. So the presets on that are as so very similar to the last video that I did, basically the same, just turned up a little more. The bass, I am using the Woodrow. Something that is really underrated, I find, with the UA stuff is that the amp cab sim pedals that they have in here sound really good on bass. The Woodrow, the Marshall, those two are my favorite. Basically just get a nice spitty, sputtery sound, so it's pretty cool. That's what we're running on the bass. The drums the drums. I forgot. Don't go to that channel. It cuts my volume. So, LOL. Then you have the Dream. So I keep changing channel. I'm really sorry, guys. You have the Dream. Then I'm running for the lead channel, and I'm using pretty basic sounds on that as it loads here. I do have the tremolo turned on, which is something cool that I don't always use. And then we have the Lexicom reverb, which is another thing that I've downloaded for the UA Spark app. So the really cool thing with this is you can pick basically what type of reverb you want, and then you can play around with all these buttons to turn the decay and the mode and the reverb, and you can solo it. You can mix between the wet and the dry. Really cool. There are these AU presets, so you can get all these sorts of presets, which are here. Every single one of these sort of downloadable things from the UA app has these. So there's different artist presets. So artists that use this have uploaded what they use. There's an all mode, and then there's a type. So you can pick what type of, if you want a dark reverb or a best of reverb or a modulated reverb, or you can go to all and you can basically do the same thing. There's just way more options. So I typically just play around with the settings on here, but if I'm really stuck, I sometimes come over here and try to pick something more specific. But as you can see, there's a million options, which is pretty cool. Also the Galaxy, this is probably the 1000% reason I got the UA Spark was because I wanted this plugin. It's just really cool. Like, I've always wanted a Rolland Space Echo, and I can't afford to buy one. So having this is just basically the next best thing. So same thing, you can do artist type or all. Lots of different options, even more in this because obviously it's the Space Echo. You've got the 3 heads. You can do the mute or the echo for the input. Basically, it's just a Space Echo at the end of the day. This thing sounds phenomenal. I absolutely love it. So definitely something I like to use all the time. And on my mic today, I'm using the 175B compressor. So this is just one of those that they've remade. You can see here that there's lots of things going on. There's lots of bells and whistles like a compressor has. I'm no guru for basically how to get the best compressor sound. I just play around with it until it sounds good. So I think that's kind of what everybody does. But anyways, so UA Spark, what should we download? So for instance, I think we're going to add a compressor to the bass. So maybe we'll add channel strips and preamps, compressors. Let's add 1176. So that's going to download. And then maybe we'll also get the Neve 1073 because that's another classic from them. And then maybe just for fun, we'll add the Brigade Chorus to the lead guitar sound. And for the room, we already have the Sound City one downloaded, so that's the one we're going to use on the drums. But as you can see, there's lots of options here. Super cool. I like them a lot. Obviously you can see I haven't even downloaded everything, but there's all these suites and stuff too, which basically download multiple things. They've built like a package around, a top line vocal suite. These are all the things you should use for your vocal microphone. So I think that's also really cool. So as you can see, there's so many things, right? There's SSL stuff, there's Manley stuff. They've either own this, they own the rights to it, or they've owned the recreations of it, or they've made the recreation. Like there's a DBX 160, an API 2500. So like it goes on forever and ever. And obviously you have their 4 amps that they have in there right now, which if you haven't seen my last video, I compare it to the Iridium. But yeah, as they come out with more things, they're going to be putting them into Spark. So like just today, or a couple days ago, I just got the Poly Max synth. So if I ever want that sound, I have it. So when you have the subscription and they have updates, they just send them to your email, you download them, and then it goes into here. So anyways, well, this updates again and downloads. I'm going to basically close out Logic Pro, boot it back up, and then I'll show you where to find these now downloaded presets. Okay, we're back. So we've restarted Logic. So that is one thing you need to keep in mind, is that every time you download something from the UA Connect app, whatever DAW you're using, you'll need to completely shut it down and start it back up. And then when it does that, you'll get a big thing pop up on the screen that says downloading, and then it'll basically show all the things on the loading bar that are downloading that you just basically downloaded into your DAW. So, okay, where do we find these mystery items? So let's pull up the mixing channel here. So you can see we're on the microphone channel, and we're going to add, what did we say we are going to add to the mic? I don't remember. Maybe we already got a compressor. So just for fun, let's add actually, let's not do anything on the mic. Let's do it on the drums. So we are going to add okay, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So when you click this little audio effects, this is normally all the things you would have for Logic. So these are all the stock plugins, whatever. They're all right. It does have some other things in here as well, like it'll assign them to sort of what they are, depending on what Logic thinks. But the best way to do it is to come into here and then go to audio units and then go to Apple. So these are all extra Apple ones that you get when you buy Logic Pro, to my understanding. Or you go to Universal Audio and it'll have all the ones that you downloaded. So that's typically where I go, so I don't have to sort through everything else. So we were going to add the Sound City Studios. So we're going to add the stereo. And as this loads in, because it is a big load in, this is one of the coolest things that I've ever seen. So basically, you wait for it to load in. You can see we're on drums. We're in Sound Studio. Like, this is super, super cool. So if we just basically, we're going to slide this off just so I can pull this track back up. Maybe. Apologies for my terrible handedness with this stuff. But anyways, okay, so we're going to pull the track up, and you're going to hear the difference. So I'm going to turn this Sound Studio on and off. So it's going to stay off. We're just... Oh, I need to solo. Okay, so we're going to solo me and the drums so you can still hear me. But basically, this is just going to show what the drums sound like right now. We're going to turn this on, and we're going to see how much better it is. So let's see. Wow, like, I don't know if it's any better. It's definitely very different, but like, we've got lots to play around with here, right? So we're in the drums. So we've got 3 different settings. We've got live. So live is Sound City Studio's signature aggressive and airy 90s sound. So think Nirvana, basically. Tight, you've got the 70s sound. So I don't know, like a late Beatles type of thing. And corner, you've got the natural yet colorful drum sounds. The wooden corner presents an intimate studio setup. So that's for like lame music, basically. You can see also you've got acoustic guitars or instruments, like electric guitars, vocals, so like a talking mic or a singing mic, and then you got ensemble, so horns and strings. You have a re-mic and you have a reverb, so which I can show you on my microphone, what we should do in a sec. But the coolest thing is that you can basically over here you can play with everything. You can turn up the different microphones, the master volume, the distance of them, the balance of them. Like, it's insane the amount you can do with this. And if you go to the effects, you can see that there is an EQ, there is basically a compressor, a dynamic compressor, and then there is a chamber effect you can turn on too. But like, it's just intense. Like, this is just one plugin. You've got a room, EQ, the dynamics, and the chamber, which are down here too. You can change the microphone type, so depending on what microphone you want. So this is like the room 2, so I'm assuming that's one of these microphones. Yeah, that'd be these 2, so the 1, 2, and then this is the room 1. Like, this is crazy. And then yet again, you have this big long list of artists, modes, all. So if you want, like, what's an artist one? Do they have an artist one? Or it's just all these presets? Oh, I'm in best of, that's why. Sound City Studio. Like, just crazy. Like, obviously I'm probably not the absolute guru on how to use this stuff, because to be honest, I don't use all of it, but it's just the fact that there are just so many options to use and play around with, and it's $120 a year for this. This is one plugin. This plugin alone to me is worth $120, which it might actually be. But anyways, just for fun, why don't we slide that over to us? We'll unmute everything. Let's turn this on, and maybe we'll put it on the vocal mode just to see what it sounds like, because that might be fun. So let's go vocal, and we'll go solo, and let's see. Check. Oh, look at that. Sounds like I'm in a room with another microphone. And if we want just the reverb, there's just the reverb. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So then if you want like a group vocal, you've got multiple microphones. If you want to change what microphone you're using, so this one sounds a lot closer. It's a tube microphone. This one's a large diaphragm microphone. You can change how close the microphone is. You can change, typically you can change the polarity or the direction. But anyways, or you can turn this mic off. So now it's just the room mic, which you can almost hear a delay there because it's so much further away. But you can change the room mic, you can change the room sound. I'm probably just ear raping everybody. I'm sorry. But anyways, very, 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 very cool. So let's go now to the bass. So that was this channel, and we're going to add a compressor. So we're going to do the Neve or the 1176 compressor. We'll go stereo because everything has to be stereo, you know, or you get beat up. So now I keep doing that. I'm sorry. Anyways, solo the bass, solo the microphone. And we're going to turn it off, and then we'll turn it back on and see what it sounds like. So we'll bring it to here where there's actually some bass. Oh yeah, that's sweet. Yeah, like you can totally hear that. Obviously it's a compressor, so it's making it louder. But what I like about this compressor just the first time using it is how simple it is. Like you have your ratio buttons, you have your attack and your release, and it tells you slow is to the left, which is cool, because most of them don't, and I half the time forget. You have your input, your output, and then you have basically the amount of metering you have. So that's how much volume you want to bring down. So super, super, super simple. And obviously you saw I was flying around here. I was looking for the bass presets because I could play around with this. But, you know, there's 4 great bass presets. You could hear that they all sound a little bit different. So it's basically just up to you, whatever you prefer. So super, super cool so far. So, okay, what's the next one? We're going to do the rhythm guitar. We were going to add the chorus sound. So let's go. Obviously, you can see here too, we have an 1176 Rev A, we have an AE, we have a Rev E, 175B. So when we downloaded that, the 1176, I believe it was also a package. So like I was saying with the Vocal Studio, sort of the same thing. It downloads all the things that were in that package. So let's add the Brigade chorus to the guitar. And look at that. It looks like a CE one. That's pretty cool. So we can turn the normal effect on. I believe so. There's no lights. So I guess we'll just kind of have to play with it and see what it sounds like. I've never used this before, so let's just see what the guitar is doing, I guess. Okay, so this light flashes when it's on, and this one does turn on. So you can obviously hear that there is chorus effect happening. You've got a power button here. So I guess you can change it from chorus or vibrato, right? So if I can go to vibrato, maybe that would be cool. Let's see what that sounds like. So that was the classic mode to the dual mode. Cool. That's all I have to say about that. I mean, that's probably better than a lot of the chorus pedals that are in Logic Pro, to be honest. So, which I know because I try to use them all the time and they're not great. But anyways, okay. So I think the last one we were gonna try to add was it a limiter, or let's see. So we did that. Oh, the preamp. Yes. Okay. So let's try that maybe on. What should we do? The lead guitar's already got a lot going on, which we'll go through in a second here. So maybe we'll try it on the bass, just because bass needs more always, right? So, okay, so we got the Neve 1073 preamp stereo, obviously, because, you know, you don't want to upset the homies. And boom, look at that. Look at this thing. That's just so cool. Like, that's a Neve 73 right there in the flesh. So, okay, let's see what the bass sounds like. And we'll go from there. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. When I was messing around with that Neve, I accidentally turned it to the other side of the zero, so I just completely blew the crap out of my eardrums. So that was a lot of fun, but I'm gonna cut that so you guys don't die. So anyways, carrying on, my ignorance is your bliss, so enjoy. I think that's all we're really gonna touch on at this point. So what we've really shown so far is that the UA Spark is really good. For 120 Canadian dollars, I think it's 99 US to my understanding. You get a lot. You get a lot going on. There's lots of downloadable features. It does work with Logic Pro very easily. There's no latency or buffering issues to my understanding, different than any other plugin that you would download. They sound great. As you're going to see kind of throughout the video and in the intro track. And if you do mess up, it will blow your eardrums out. So it's good to know that they are keeping you honest. There's no safety features, which is good, but I'm just kidding. But anyways, lots of great things. Like the Sound City stuff, that sounds great. I love that sort of stuff. Obviously, you can see I'm using the UA pedals all over the place because, you know, they're great. In my last video, I kind of compare the UA pedals in the Spark compared to the Iridium. So if you haven't checked that out, go take a look. But regardless, they are great. They're just very different to use. So, but anyways, now we are going to try to do this with GarageBand because I know a lot of people also use GarageBand. I don't use GarageBand because I have the full Logic Pro, but we are going to try to import these downloadable presets from UA Spark into GarageBand, and then we should be all lickety split good to go. So let's see what we can do. Okay, here's the scoop on my ignorance. So, what I forgot about, which I really should not have forgotten about, seeing that I use this all the time. When you buy the UA Spark, you do have to program it to basically an interface or to a DAW. So it only trusts one DAW on your account. So basically, I've linked my UA Spark account to Logic Pro X on my computer. So that means if I was to log in on somebody else's computer and use their Logic, I can't use my UA account with theirs. I could log into my own UA account or my own Logic account to use my own UA stuff. But basically, this is so that they don't allow people to share the UA Spark program with other people and get away with one cost for multiple people. So that is my mistake. I'm owning up to it. So no, GarageBand does not work in the current state, but yes, you can open GarageBand. You basically do it the same way you do on Logic Pro. You open it up, you scroll down to the other, you hit the Universal Audio, and there's all the things you've downloaded. So I would show you, but basically it won't let me put them in. So I can show you that they're there, but it won't let me add them in because it basically doesn't trust GarageBand, because I've already only trusted Logic Pro. So I hope that makes sense to you. I hope this video has been somewhat helpful to those who are wondering how to use it or what the features are. I know it was very brief, but seemed long at the same time, kind of how to. Obviously, there's lots of videos out there of how to download the actual application itself. It's very, very simple. You create an account, you pay for it, and it basically downloads to your computer. The only tricky thing is signing up for the iLoc account. But if you have any sort of Tonex or Quad Cortex type of machine, they all make you do that anyways, so you might be used to that. So definitely recommend the UA Spark. It is a great program. Obviously, it has its limitations. It does work with any DAW. I do know people who use it with Pro Tools as well, so if that's what you're into, I know Luna, Pro Tools, and Logic all work, and GarageBand, I guess, too. But like I said, it does lock to your account, so once you pick a interface or like an interface for like a recording software, that's what it's going to go with on that account. So if you record on 4 or 5 different computers with your UA account, you will have to purchase 4 or 5 different software accounts for your UA account, unless someone's figured out a loophole on how to make it work. But I've tried it on 2 different computers on the same Logic account, and it doesn't work. So basically, I really hope you like your UA on your laptop that you use all the time, because that's the one you're going to have to use it with. So anyways, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below. I'm always taking suggestions on how I can make this content better for you. If you've liked it, please like and subscribe. I'll be in the chat waiting for you. And just shout out to my buddy Jack Soul. So if you want to go check out his YouTube channel, I'll have it linked in the description. He's been doing a little longer than me, and this has lots of inspiration for pedals and stuff like that, which I'll get into eventually. But if you want to go check out his stuff, I'm sure he'd appreciate that. So thanks again. I've been Nick Pedersen. This is me signing off on YouTube, and hoping that I didn't just absolutely make a mess of this video. So thanks.